Hello, hello. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome to another session of My Titanium Tidbits for the Morning Hum. I am your host, C. Maria Wall, aka the voice of relationship recovery and the mediator in Shiro right here at our ground zero. Today is all about a three-word question. I did not want to have opening music. I wanted to jump right into our program. So, the three-word question is, who are you? Let me say that again. Who are you? Have you ever been in an interview where you sit down and you're confident and then the interviewer says, tell me something about yourself, or who are you? And it's human nature to say, well, what would you like to know? And whenever I'm in that situation as a hiring authority, I said, well, I want to know what are some of your strengths. I want to know who you are. Tell me about yourself. And usually I get a confused look, or again, they keep saying, well, I can speak on anything. Just tell me what you want to know. Is there anything specific? I'm like, I want you to tell me who you are. So we're going to delve into that, the benefits of knowing who you are today. So with that said, let me say this. When you know who you are in tune with not only your identity, but your self-awareness is so enlightened. Because you see, it helps you to understand your core values, your beliefs, your strengths, and even your weaknesses. Because when you know who you are, there are some remarkable benefits to having that particular power in your possession. So when you're self-aware, you will have an enlightened or heightened sense of improvement for your relationships. You'll be able to communicate better. You'll be able to set those boundaries. You will be more empathetic with others when you have that self-awareness and you know who you are. It also helps you with um, your resilience. You're able to manage stress better and navigate this thing called life when you know who you are and you're able to stand in your convictions. And then how about this? When you know who you are, it helps with your personal and professional growth as well. It helps you to be able to see your goals clearer. You'll be able to set those goals that are achievable to you. And of course, it does such a boost for your confidence. I can sit down and tell people who I am exactly, what my strong points are, what my weaknesses are, and what I'm able to do to work on both. And it helps you to live that authentic life. When you are so real with yourself, you can then be real with others. And then it helps you along the way with keeping in line with your personal and professional growth. There's nothing better than knowing your worth at your job, what your interests are, finding something that's more in alignment with your personal work style. And it also helps you when you know who you are. It helps you with your decision making. It helps you to align your choices with your values and goals. So it's all about learning who you are. So when someone asks, who are you? You'll be well prepared to tell them. So your assignment for today is to sit back, get out that pad and pen or pencil, and write down who you are. And then sit back and look at what you wrote and think about it. Would you be a person that you would want to hang out with? Would you be a person comfortable being in the company of? Would you be a person who you would say, hey, let's be friends? Would you be a person who you would want to look up to for advice, for guidance, for motivation, for inspiration? There is such great value in knowing who you are, because once you know that, in many, many, many cases, your outlook on life is different. Your outlook on where you're going next changes. That's a super secret power that so many of us don't realize that we possess. But in order for us to fine tune it and to identify it, we have to take a back step, sit down with that paper and pencil and pen, and write down who we know or think we are. That way, we will know in the next section how to write, well, what do I need to do to become that person that I admire on paper? If I get silent, those are the times in our discussion that I give you to sit back and digest what has been discussed up to that point. I want you to figure out how my words can resonate in your heart, mind, body, spirit, and soul, and how you can apply them to your everyday life. And if you know someone who can benefit from these programs, please share them, because it is my goal to help people throughout the world. And again, before we end, let me give you our contact information, as I always do, because I know that some of you, you feel as though you're alone. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're not. And all you have to do is reach out. And I promise you, someone will be here to respond. So our phone number is 202-618-2556. That's 202-618-2556. If you'd like to send us an electronic correspondence, write to me personally at letsgrow@cmariawall.com. That's letsgrow@cmariawall.com. And if you still like to put the pen to the paper, our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 272 in Randallstown, Maryland, 21133. That's Post Office Box 272 in Randallstown, Maryland, 21133. And just so you know, my titanium tidbits, Healing Through Hurt iTalk Radio, and Focus Females Offering Clarity, Unity, and Success, all of our programs are sponsored by the Wall Foundation Incorporated, which is an IRS approved and recognized 501c3 nonprofit. You can visit us on our webpage at thewallfoundationinc.org. We have a lot of information there about our programs and services. There's also a contact form there. You can reach out and someone will get the message and get back to you. If it's off hours, it's usually going to be me. So you get a chance to talk to me personally. So again, think about who you are. Put it on paper and sit back and look and see how close you are to what you wrote on that paper. And then make another selection so that you will know what it will take for you to become that person that you admire so much on that paper. You know, if you're listening to us on our new home here on Spreaker, welcome and thank you for joining. But you can also find us on other podcast platforms such as Amazon Audible and Music, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Spotify, YouTube podcast, and of course, as I said, here on our new home on Spreaker. So find us. Do a search for us under Healing Through Hurt iTalk Radio. And we should come up. You can click on any of the players that I mentioned. They are all synced. We are syndicated. So you should be able to hear our latest podcast on any of those platforms. So before I go, as always, I want to leave you with these words that I usually say at the end of my programs. I want to pray each and every one of you enough. I want to pray you enough sunshine to brighten your rainy days. I also want to pray you enough rain to make those gardens of yours grow beautifully. I want to pray you enough smiles to turn the frown that you may be carrying around upside down. But most of all, I want to pray you enough strength and courage to face whatever may be coming your way or at your door at this very moment and beyond. So, the next time we meet, maybe I'll ask, who are you? And wherever you are, just start talking and say, I am, and fill in that blank beautifully. Because no one knows you better than you. And if you look at that paper and you're not where you want to be, set your plan in place to work towards becoming that person who you would love to mimic, that person who you would love to go to for motivation, enlightenment, encouragement, resources, and advice. This is a new year. It's the 10th day of January in the year 2025. We are going to try to work towards something positive every single day of this year. And by the end of the year, you'll be able to look back and see how far you've come. Even if you're in the midst of your storm, you'll still see progress and growth. And if it's nothing more than, hey, I made it to the end of the year. That's progression. That's growth. That's something to celebrate because you made it. Don't sell yourselves short. Do not sabotage your hope, health, happiness, and success. You have more power than you know. And with that said, we did not start with opening music, but as always, we start with good music by Miss Tori Lee, and then we go into our good discussions and conversation, and I hope that you leave after experiencing some really good vibes. So with that said, I'm C. Maria Wall. I hope to see you all again soon. We didn't begin with it, but I want to end with Miss Tori Lee's good music because I want you to start your day on a positive note. So sit back while you're preparing to start your day. Enjoy Tori Lee's good music. I'll talk to you soon.
I get lost in your words. It feels so good when I'm hurt. Takes my mind off of the pain. Loves when the beat takes me away with only good music. Oh, 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 with only good music. Something about the things you said stays in my mind. Makes me wanna sit down and listen to you. I listen all night. The melody, the arrangement makes my body go so crazy. I tell my feet, man, I love the beat. It's the way the music comes over me. The emotions I get, I won't fight. Sometimes the music is sure